And finally, from one of the most successful Green parties in America, the Green Party of New Mexico, Rick Ladd.
All right. Well, I have to say this convention has exceeded all of our expectations. We are all just so thrilled. The energy here that is going to be carried back to the state parties around this country, it's going to grow and grow and grow, and there's no stopping us now, is there? All right. Well, I'm not sure how it is that I got put with the job of explaining the process details of a vote after all these incredibly inspiring speeches, but that's what I'm here to do. So, all of you delegates now should have in your packets a ballot card. Okay, so everyone who's a delegate or an alternate who's replacing a delegate who's not here should have a small piece of paper with a ballot. If you're missing that for whatever reason, please stand up, and Greg Garrett is going to be giving you a ballot at this point. Okay? As Lynn Serpy has been saying, oh, never mind. Lynn Serpy will be able to say it herself in a few minutes. Okay. We need to focus on this. Thank you. Okay? The vote process is going to work like this. Each state delegate, each individual person here is going to fill out. Okay, please focus on this. This is very important. We don't want to have to go through it twice. Okay? Each delegate here is going to fill out their ballot using the instant runoff voting procedure. Okay? I'm going to explain that in a second. Then the delegate will hand their ballot to their state vote tallier. Okay, so each state elected yesterday a spokesperson or a vote tallier. That person, if they're not here, the state has to quickly decide who is going to replace that person. Okay, that can be done within your state. Okay, that tallier will then collect the votes from their state's delegation, and they'll move using the side aisles back to the microphone where Lynn Serpy is standing in the center of the room here. Lynn, can you wave? Okay, and just by way of introduction, for those who haven't heard yet, Lynn Serpy is one of the several organizers of this fabulous convention that we're holding. Okay. All right. Okay. Then the vote tallier / spokesperson for each state, we're going to ask in alphabetical order. John and Natalie are going to call out the name of your state. The vote tallier is going to then, into the microphone, say the total number of votes for each candidate. So, and this is just the first place votes. Okay, so an example would be 3 votes for candidate X, 2 votes for candidate Y, if you have 5 delegates, something like that. Okay? Now, quickly, I'm going to review how instant runoff voting works. Okay? Okay, each delegate will pick from 1 to 4 of the candidates listed. I'm counting none of the above as a candidate. Okay, thank you. So you can list just number 1 if you only want to vote for 1. You can list 1, 2, 3, 4 if you prefer. Now the reason this is done is because after the first round of voting, we tally all the first place votes. If there's not a clear majority winner, majority over 50%, then we will have to transfer votes. Okay, so you can vote 1 through 4. You can vote 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We're going to tally the votes. We have 2 of the members of our facilitation team who are going to both be counting, and they're going to tally the vote at the end of it, and we'll be able to announce the votes basically immediately within 10 minutes or so, hopefully less. And then the paper ballots will be counted at a later time to confirm that. Okay? So if there's, is that clear to all the delegates? How to vote? Okay, thank you very much. And I guess at this point the delegates may make their votes, hand their votes to their state's leader, and the spokesperson of each state can begin to make their way to the microphone in the center of the room. Remember, we'll be going alphabetically, beginning at the beginning of the alphabet, and here we go. Okay, was that inspirational or what?
That was fantastic.
Okay. I've never had 3 microphones.
It's wonderful. IRV seems to be understood.
Yeah. I meant to do a little plug for Center for Voting and Democracy, but...
Well, you know...
Amazed. I'm both amazed and overwhelmed, as I'm sure you are, by the magnificence of our 3 candidates. We Greens seem to be very successful in attracting terrific candidates, and now we're going to begin voting. The way we're going to do this, Natalie and myself, we're going to go back and forth, but our task is very simple. We will call out the name of the state, and then the person who is the vote tallier for that state will announce the results of your voting in your state. And we will begin with Alaska. What does Alaska say?
Alaska, the great land, the first state to acquire Green Party ballot status. The party that is fighting to change the fact that we are still a resource extraction colony for oil, fish, timber, mining, and industrial tourism. Our indigenous peoples are under attack, and so are their rights. And we are now targeted for a national missile defense system which doesn't work. We need a president who is great, who understands, who will deal honestly with these issues. And Alaska casts its 3 votes and calls for unanimous consent from this convention for Ralph Nader for the next president of the United States.
Thank you, Alaska. Arkansas.
The proud state of Arkansas, the natural state, home of the Ozarks and Julia Butterfly Hill, is proud and honored to cast its 6 votes for the next president of the United States, Ralph Nader.
Next is Arizona.
Arizona, we are here today to honor not a man, but an irresistible force, an idea whose time has come, and the people who have worked tirelessly to bring it about. It is my great honor and my great pleasure to cast the 2 votes for the state of Arizona for Ralph Nader.
California.
From Mendocino County, the great state of California. I'm Sheree Kelly from Mendocino County in the north of the great state of California, home of some of the most cultural, racial, ethnic, and ecological diversity in the world.
Running for U.S. Senate, representing 108,000 registered Greens, the largest Green Party in the U.S. The Green Party candidate for a state assembly in California, and I'm planning to join the 50 elected Greens in California in November.
For a green future,
we cast 1 vote for Jello Biafra.
and
Iowa's first Green elected official. And I present for 7 votes to Ralph Nader.
Connecticut.
Councilwoman Elizabeth Warden Shep, family from the Nutmeg State of Connecticut. We proudly stand before this convention to cast 9 votes for our neighbor's son, the next president of these United States, Ralph Nader.
The state of Delaware.
I'm Jennifer Guys from Wilmington, Delaware, the first state, and I am proud to cast our 2 votes for Ralph Nader, the only man who deserves to be the next president.
The great state of Columbia, also known as the District of Columbia.
Representing the last colony better known as the District of Columbia, soon to be a state. And in the spirit of our freedom fighters, Denise Jenkins and Karen Shulgin, and for all of the DC statehood Green Party, we proudly nominate Ralph Nader as the next president of the United States.
And now, let's hear it from Florida.
Florida, the Sunshine State, we proudly cast 2 votes for Ralph Nader.
Georgia, how do you cast your votes?
I'm Carrie Dixon from Georgia, the state that refused to pass the Voter Choice Act, where our people are working to get Nader on the ballot, and they have to collect 80,000 signatures. And today, the police stopped them in a public park. And we are going to change things in Georgia and pass that Voter Choice Act. Georgia is casting 5 votes for 2 great men who have given their lives to service. 3 for Stephen Gaskin, and 2 for Ralph Nader.
Hawaii, how do you cast your votes?
The former independent nation of Hawaii, now known as the 50th state, the Aloha State, with much humility and humbleness, and at the same time, amazing passion, the first state to elect a Green running in a partisan race against a Democrat incumbent and a Republican, Hawaii cast its 4 votes for the next president of the United States, one man who we can't thank enough for what he's done for all of us, Ralph Nader.
Illinois.
The Green Party of Illinois, fighting for social and economic justice, proudly cast its 2 votes for Ralph Nader and Winona LaDuke. Tomorrow in Illinois, we'll be making history. We're filing petitions with over 25,000 signatures to put Ralph Nader and Winona LaDuke on the ballot.
Indiana.
The great state of Indiana, home of Eugene Debs, land of steelworkers and victim of many corporate polluters, proudly nominates Ralph Nader with 2 votes for the next president of the United States of America.
Iowa.
Iowa, the Hawkeye State, home of 19th century Congressman Calamity Jim Weaver, presidential candidate of the Greenbackers and of the
populists in 1880 and 1892, respectively, whose conviction it was that farmers should raise less corn and more hell. Proudly cast 5 votes for Ralph Nader, 1 vote for Stephen Gaskin.
Kansas.
Rhoda Vanderhart from Overland Park, Kansas. The delegation from Kansas, the Sunflower State, is proud and honored to continue our great populist tradition and cast our 3 unanimous votes for Ralph Nader and Winona LaDuke.
Kentucky.
Chaz Martin for the Green Bluegrass Commonwealth of Kentucky, a new Southern Center for Environmentalism, Social Activism, and the Student Movement. We supported our candidate because he's fought for the rights of Appalachian land use. He's fought for the rights of the students against sweatshop movement at the University of Kentucky. He's fought for worker rights all over Kentucky, and because today we got a required number of signatures about 20 minutes.
Louisiana.
We're not working to build a third party, we're working to build a second party. So probably cast our 2 votes for Ralph Nader.
Maine.
Matthew Tilley from the state of Maine. With Toronto, where we lead, and also the birthplace of my hometown of Bangor, Maine, of Abraham Lincoln's first vice president. With great pride and humility today, we cast 4 votes for Ralph Nader.
Maryland.
For Maryland, we're still looking for voters to sign our petition for ballot access, but soon we will be rewarded by the choice of voting for a worthy presidential candidate. No longer will we have to go with the least of the worst. Thus, the Maryland Green Party very proudly cast all 7 of its votes for the best of the best, Ralph Nader.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, birthplace of the first American Revolution against oppression and a proud participant in the second. 1 vote for Jello Biafra and 10 votes for a great American hero, Ralph Nader.
Michigan.
Michigan.
I came out from Missouri, the heartland of America, the great Show Me State. We cast 6 votes for Ralph Nader and Winona LaDuke.
Michigan.
Michigan, the diverse state of Michigan, where we fully expect to be on the ballot thanks to the incredible efforts of many people, including Senate candidate Tom Ness and his wife Sue, who has personally gathered over 3,000 signatures so far. Cast votes 1 for Jello Biafra, 2 for Stephen Gaskin, and 6 for Ralph Nader, the next president of the United States!
Minnesota.
The great state of Minnesota, home of 10,000 lakes, the headwaters of the Mississippi, the longest freshwater sandbar in the world, the largest body of fresh water in the world, home of Floyd D. Olson, Elmer Anderson, and the only third-party governor in the United States, yes, I'm sure, who is happy to be joined by the youngest Green Party delegate at this convention, and who is proud to offer Green Party candidates Scott Ruskavich for U.S. Congress of St. Paul, and myself, Holly Bryan, running for state representative. We're especially honored to be offering Winona LaDuke for vice president.
cast 1 vote for Jello Biafra and Abu Jamal, and 11 votes for Ralph Nader and Winona LaDuke.
Mississippi.
That spell check was up. The proud state of Mississippi, home to the Freedom Hills Green Party of North Mississippi, the Jackson Greens, and Nader activists galore, whose air is sweet with magnolia and honeysuckle perfume, come to you with a brief history lesson of national import. It took a major grassroots effort to overcome intransigent elected officials who fought to maintain a status quo of racial oppression in the 1960s. Today, a new generation of officials, led by former Ole Miss cheerleader, Senate Majority Leader Trent Lott, are doling out corporate welfare, blocking campaign finance reform, and keeping the minimum wage at poverty levels. Senator Lott, the American people do care about campaign finance reform. Mississippians are, in the words of Fannie Lou Hamer, sick and tired of being sick and tired. Tired of poverty, tired of hunger, tired of preventable disease. Our needs are not being met. Grassroots efforts have to overcome your type before. Your time is going to come. We probably cast our 2 votes for Ralph Nader.
Nevada.
Well, we got a state. He had a spell check on this week. Nevada is a silver state brought into the Union in order to provide 3 votes against the slavery system. Is now working to decommission Yucca Mountain.
That's right.
And the nuclear test site. And stop the insanity of nuclear weapons and further development.
That's right.
We are very proud to cast our 3 votes for Ralph Nader.
New Jersey.
In the hope and interest of returning the toxic waste state of New Jersey into the carbon state once more, running 1 senatorial candidate, 12 congressional candidates, the Green Party of New Jersey is very proud to announce that our 10 delegates are voting for Ralph Nader.
New Mexico.
The great state of New Mexico, land of enchantment, where we have Los Alamos Laboratories and the Waste Isolation Power Plant, cast 1 vote for Jello Biafra, and the rest of its 8 votes for the next President of the United States, the only man worthy of the office, Ralph Nader.
All right. New York.
Jim Henderson from New York, the Empire State, state of diversity, and the state that has a history of revolutionary action since 1776. Casts for Jello Biafra, 2 votes.
The Empire State also cast 3 votes for a homegrown activist who inspired Brooklyn Greens to break the sanctions against Iraq and who's inspired us to file a lawsuit against Mayor Giuliani. 3 votes for Joel Covell.
And the Empire State finally cast its 15 votes for the next President of the United States, Mr. Ralph Nader.
Ohio.
We, the delegation of beautiful Ohio, we are participating in the Farm Labor Organizing Committee's boycott of Mount Olive Pickle Company, where we are confronting Daimler Chrysler and corporate welfare in the Nader-Enright lawsuit against the city of Toledo and the state of Ohio. Cast 1 vote for Jello Biafra and cast 4 votes for the next President of the United States, Ralph Nader, and Vice President Winona LaDuke.
Oklahoma.
Greetings from the Greens of Oklahoma, home of Woody Guthrie. Bill Rogers. 37 Indian tribes, still speaking 26 Indian languages. No, it was over there. We have the highest per capita requirement for ballot access in the nation. But we're still going strong because this land is our land, and we never met a petition circulator we didn't like. Oklahoma gets 1 vote for Jello Biafra and Humila Abu-Jamal, and 2 votes for Ralph Nader and Winona LaDuke.
Oregon. For 10 years, the innovative and independent Pacific Green Party has combined grassroots activism with electoral politics. We support courageous tree sitters, protecting our ancient forests, our public lands, and our drinking waters in Oregon and throughout this country. We support brave students at the University of Oregon and other universities who have challenged Nike sweatshop conditions. Exemplified by the Alliance for Sustainable Jobs and the Environment. In 1996, the Pacific Green Party of Oregon earned the highest percentage of votes in the nation for the Nader-LaDuke ticket. We now enthusiastically cast all 10 of our votes for Ralph Nader and Winona LaDuke.
Pennsylvania.
Knox of Pennsylvania. The beautiful forested Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, you know Pennsylvania means Penn Woods, where Greens are working to preserve and restore our woodlands, to protect our rich farmlands from sprawl, from factory farms and toxic sludge, to stop Governor Ridge's importation of garbage, and protect our people from incinerator pollution, our streams from acid mine drainage, and from pulp wood mills, and from 3 Mile Island aftermath. As a swing state, we cast 1 vote for none of the above, and 18 votes for Ralph Nader.
Rhode Island.
I've had tears in my eyes all day today at the wonder of what's happening in this room. I'm proud to say that Rhode Island, the first state to be established on the basis of religious freedom, the first to declare its independence from the Crown, continues its long tradition of independence by casting its 4 votes for Ralph Nader and Winona LaDuke.
Tennessee.
Tennessee, the state where we have one senator, Fred Thompson, who is a former B-movie actor trying to become Ronald Reagan. Tennessee, whose other senator, Tom Frisk, is terribly involved in the heavily indicted Hospital Corporation of America, and who will be opposed successfully by Green Party candidate Tom Burrell in November. Tennessee, who will successfully retire Vice President Al Gore from American politics in November, finally cast 1 vote for Jello Biafra, 2 votes for our homeboy Steve Gaskin, and 6 votes for the next President of the United States, Ralph Nader.
Texas.
The former independent republic and current proud state of Texas, rich in unique and diverse cultural history, infused by people from all over the world, was able to raise $74,600 signatures in 75 days in its recent ballot access. The vibrant great state of Texas is proud to help lead our country to a greener future by casting all its 26 votes for the man who will change politics in the 21st century, Ralph Nader.
Utah! I'm Matthew Armey from Utah, and I did not have as much caffeine today as a guy from Mississippi. But I'd like to get a hold of some of that stuff. Utah is one of the 11 original signing states to the ASGP, and we're very proud of that. And in continuing that tradition, that pioneering tradition, our state was founded by people running away from oppression, which is what we're doing here tonight too. There's two other things that Utah's not well known for. One, we elected the first woman congressman to the United States. And the second thing is that of all the nations, or of all the states in the nation, we have the highest per capita consumption of Jello. So, with respect to that, we have, of the 5 Utah votes, 1 for Jello Biafra and 4 for Mr. President Ralph Nader.
From the not-so-Commonwealth of Virginia, with appreciation to all the candidates for their campaigns, especially to Jello for bringing more members to the Green Party of Virginia than any other event in recent memory. For, as always, broadening the political debate, the Virginia delegation, representing our statewide preferential voting decision, cast 1 vote for Stephen Gaskin and 4 votes for Ralph Nader and Winona LaDuke.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, the Badger State, and the great dairyland of America, having been corporatized and cronyized, welcomes Ralph Nader as this century's fighting Bob LaFollette.
Wyoming.
Wisconsin proudly casts all 14 of our votes for Ralph Nader and Winona LaDuke.
Wyoming.
From the high plains and Rocky Mountains of the Equality State, Wyoming, the first state to give women the right to vote. A state where we are still fighting restrictive ballot access laws to get Ralph Nader on the ballot. We cast our 3 votes.
1 vote to Jello Biafra, 1 vote to Stephen Gaskin, and 1 vote for the next President and Vice President of the United States, Ralph Nader and Winona LaDuke.
Message from Washington. Patrick Mazza has sent a fax giving the results of their state convention yesterday. They were sorry they could not attend this, but state law requires that they have their convention yesterday. But the fax contains the information that they vote unanimously for Ralph Nader.
And here comes the tally of votes.
Okay, well, thanks to the miracle of modern computers, we have the totals now. They are 295 votes in favor of Ralph Nader and Winona LaDuke, 10 votes in favor of Stephen Gaskin and Winona LaDuke, 10 votes in favor of Jello Biafra and Mumia Abu Jamal, and 1 vote for none of the above. Okay? Clearly, after the first round of voting, we have a majority in favor of Ralph Nader and Winona LaDuke, and we'd like to ask now to see the unanimous consent of this body that we are supporting Ralph Nader, Winona LaDuke to be the next President of the United States.
Delegates, representatives of the Green Parties of America, one last time I want to bring Jello Biafra and Stephen Gaskin up for your enthusiastic appreciation. They have both pledged to work enthusiastically for the ticket, with or without the promise of a federal judgeship.